What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Cover Killer Nation here with another 2011 album review for you guys. And this time it's going to be Redemption at the Puritan's Hand by the band Primordial. Now, for those of you who remember Primordial's previous release, To the Nameless Dead, it received various accolades, not to mention it was tops of many metal website or publications album of the year list of that particular year. So the band had quite a tough act to follow here in 2011. This 8-track, over 60-minute long affair is, well, very well worth the wait, not to mention it's something that is equal in scale, slope, and magnitude as their previous efforts. However, the one thing that many people may notice on this particular record, it's not nearly as raw, it's a little bit more of a slow-paced, slow-churning, atmosphere-breathing, fire-breathing, brooding dragon, which is something that is, well, one of Primordial's staples. However, this one seems a little bit less fierce than perhaps To the Nameless Dead. However, it still maintains the same intensity, if not cranking up the dial a little bit. This is one that's definitely well worth the wait because of its central theme. The central theme of this album is death, and it's death of many styles. It's how people deal with death. From a biblical level, from a religious level, a cultural, spiritual level, from sex to even the very final track speaks about the Greek gods. It speaks about their story, the fall of Zeus, the fall of it, and how man had to suffer the repercussions. This is a fantastic affair. This is another one of those bands Primordial is, and it just seems to keep on getting better. In fact, their past couple of albums seem to be a real, I guess, plateau point for them where they've really hit their stride and they can just constantly churn out really solid material. And Redemption at the Puritan's Hand is absolutely no different. This is one that's really going to, at some points, seem a little bit monotonous, only because they're, as I said in the introduction, building an atmosphere, really building a theme. I actually really like the fact that they do use a lot of sound repetition in their black metal stylings here. I really think that it helps to accentuate the points in which they're trying to convey to a listener all the better. The vocals on this particular album are another high point. Some people may find them to be a little bit off-putting. I completely disagree with anybody who says that, though, because I find that they fit and serve a purpose and the mood on every single individual track on this record quite nicely. In fact, it's a beautiful touch. It's something where it's very haunting at some points. It's very shrill. And that's, again, as I said, what they're trying to convey. They're trying to convey a very bleak, a very somber style of subject matter. But they're also doing it in a very brutal way. They're doing it in a very traditional black metal styling. However, they've added that epic feel. Each and every one of these songs feels like a battle cry. It feels as though, as it drones on and on, the victory is there, but with this album's subject matter, and with the topic of death, it seems as though, even though there are some moments of this album that really seem to have a very glorious demeanor to them, most of the time, if you were to use the battle cry mentality, that battle cry metaphor, it's like singing a song to a battle that's gone awry, that's gone the wrong way, a battle that was lost. Once again, I cite the last track as a perfect glimmering example of that metaphor, considering it's citing the fall of Zeus, it's citing the fall of gods, death of the gods, as the name of the track implies. And that's kind of the feel that you get whenever you listen to this record. You feel as though these are 8 battles that were triumphantly fought. However, whenever it comes to the win-loss, whenever it comes to who actually came out victorious, well, the side that's singing did not. That somber environment, however, was captured in a very brutal way. It's captured in a very poetic way. If you listen to these lyrics, you can hear them being recited maybe from generation, almost through some sort of legend. And that's one thing that Primordial has always done well. All the things that Primordial has done well throughout their career appear on this record. There's nothing here that really has been silenced or diminished. So once again, Primordial has executed a very flawless release. One that has very little to complain about. As I said before, some people may complain that it seems a little bit monotonous. Seems like it drones on and that repetition is very heavily utilized on this particular record. But as I also mentioned in defense, I believe that it was done in a very tasteful and good way. Overall, I'd have to give this album a solid 8.5 to 8.75 out of 10. And like the Septic Flesh record that we reviewed earlier this week, I have this funny nagging feeling, this weird little twinge inside my heart, that we're going to be seeing this album again in a couple of months, whenever December comes along, and album of the year 2011 really starts to crank up. Check this one out, guys. Cover Killer Nation saying, well, damn.